We'll follow at the bar radio here with Ace Hood. As you can see, he's already at the bar because he got some Ciroc. But I got to say, we just seen Ace Hood, a real genuine dude. I salute you. I salute you. Like, just your humble ass. I appreciate that. We need artists like you. That's it, at the bar.
Yeah, at the bar radio.
Yeah. You already know this the king of Philly, man. At the bar radio, man. You already. Right.
Where to get lit at? You on your own. Just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. It's a different day, no, it's same story, nigga. I've been winning, retire like I'm Robert Horry, nigga. They just thought they knew me, but I'm here to make my story bigger. Keep that Laker 40 with me, always know I had that clipper. She act Gilligan on my boat, bet I'm gon' skip her. If they start getting out of line, I bet I'm gon' get them. Pack a bag and book a flight, so they know I'm always trippin'. I've been Scotty with the right, so they always know I'm pimpin'. Well, I always say I got haters, cause they just know I'm living. Word to my Brody came on, they just know I got a vision. The stove gotta stay on, so no product missing. Government want us to stay home, go broke for politicians. Had to carry that weight, never dealt with the opposition. My homie tryna beat the case when he had no pot to piss. I'm tryna cop a bird, but he caught up with all them pigeons. And I can never chase when ain't no love when you got them riches. I'm on the loan, I've been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. I'm on the loan, I've been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. Yeah. Alright.
Hey, Tuna, you made this?
I'm on the loan, I've been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. I'm on the loan, I've been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. It's a different day, no, it's same story, nigga. I've been winning, retire like I'm Robert Horry, nigga. They just thought they knew me, but I'm here to make my story bigger. Keep that Laker 40 with me, always know I had that clipper. She act Gilligan on my boat, bet I'm gon' skip her. If they start getting out of line, I bet I'm gon' get them. Pack a bag and book a flight, so they know I'm always trippin'. I've been Scotty with the right, so they always know I'm pimpin'. Well, I always say I got haters, cause they just know I'm living. Word to my Brody came on, they just know I got a vision. The stove gotta stay on, so no product missing. Government want us to stay home, go broke for politicians. Had to carry that weight, never dealt with the opposition. My homie tryna beat the case when he had no pot to piss. I'm tryna cop a bird, but he caught up with all them pigeons. And I can never chase when ain't no love when you got them riches. I'm on the loan, I've been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back. I'm on the loan, I've been asking where your bitch at. She on the phone, tryna figure out where to get lit at. You on your own, just know why with that chit chat. I'm on the road, cause this that planning, this that get back.
Yo. And we're back. It's just me and CP3 here. We like to first wish some happy birthdays. Happy birthday to Lady Antoinette.
Yes, indeed. She's overseas, probably doing some illegal activities that she can get away with over there, and we couldn't get away with over here. So, hope you're having a good time, and hope you make it back. Don't get caught in the customs or anything.
We'll probably have a short show because we got the strippers coming through, to celebrate Lady Antoinette's birthday after she, had to get over there.
They're gonna make it clap, baby.
And then Shout out to DJ Grip. Yesterday was DJ Grip's birthday.
Happy birthday, bro.
I got to chill out with him yesterday. Had a very interesting. I was at the Elks Lodge in Old Town. One, it's a black lodge and stuff, but it is over 100 years old. They were celebrating their 102nd birthday yesterday. So I thought that was dope. It's black people. Some. They've done a lot for the community. It was black people. It was older black people, not just partying, but they were celebrating their senior members. And they talked about their history and stuff. And I learned a lot, to be honest with you. I've had my nephew perform there, and I passed by growing up. I passed by the lodge all the time, not knowing the deep history of it, and actually like hearing them talk. I got some video clips I want to put up, but hear them talk about the stuff they've done for the community. I didn't know it was over. That's actually a historical landmark in Alexandria when something's over 100 years old. And the only other thing I building I knew that was over. Black building I knew that was 100 years old was Alpha Street Baptist Church. So it was very interesting, and they celebrated their senior members there. They had, people that came out even they were using walkers. They decorated the place. They had other people from other charters come. It was a beautiful thing. It's good to see your elders show love like that because it's something that's rare that you rarely see nowadays.
That is a very true and sad statement. The older generation, they, came through the struggle and understand where we are now, where we could be, but where we are with, some of the privileges that we had. We have people, living lavish lifestyles, have their own companies, black minority folks that when they came up, that was like a pipe dream. They could never imagine that happening in their lifetime. So now, they have an appreciation for that, and, they know how to celebrate, not sitting there wishing, I wish I had this, I wish I had that, and such has this and such has that. They have appreciation for what they have, and unfortunately, in this current society, our people haven't had to struggle the way they did, so I don't think they have a greater appreciation for what they have or what they could become, and because they're always looking at what the next person has, or they feel like what they should have or they're entitled to. So when you get to the older generation, that's why I always prided myself of always hanging out with older, people when I was coming up. And I had several mentors that I still talk to on business, personal, and all types of things. Because you can always learn something from someone older than you because they've been through it and experienced it. Dealing with someone that's your same age, they're going through the same things you're going through. So all they can do is give you their perspective and, trial and error, but at least you're talking to someone that went through it, been through it, and maybe survived it better than the person you're talking to. So you have to appreciate the older generation. I know they're different from what this new generation is used to, but you got to embrace the old school folks because you don't study our history anymore. And I think that's where a lot of things are getting lost nowadays because they don't realize, the struggle in the civil rights movement. They don't even really teach that in school, so they have no way of knowing about it unless they choose to go research it. So I think that's one of the biggest problems in the black community is they don't understand where we came from and when we had, white folks hunting us down to kill us and shoot us in the street, and now you got your own brothers shooting down your own brothers in the street. Hopefully that'll give them a different mentality, to try to treasure life because you've seen somebody get killed in the past just because of their skin color. You're killing someone over some stupid beef or some disagreement instead of talking it out, swinging it out, any other thing you can do, but you decide to pull a gun out and, that's the end all. And I think we have to start trying to reconnect with the older generation, but it's so hard because the younger generation thinks they know everything.
That's what I was about to touch on is that one of the biggest problems is that when you think you know everything but you know nothing, it's sad because I remember as being a youth listening. Like I remember what you said about hanging around the older dudes and older dudes setting you straight. Like, yo, Slim, you don't need to be out here, or don't talk to your mom like that, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Teaching you morals and having ethics, and even teaching you your history. And we don't have that now because people think the younger generation thinks they know everything. They have an ego on their shoulders, so to speak. I remember I was talking to one of my nephews several years ago, and it was something simple, like, "Yo, could you like your cousin's video?" And he was like, "I'm a man now, and I'm this and I'm that, and I shouldn't have to be forced to do anything." I said, and I was like, "No, I ain't forced you. I just asked you." And and then he tried to, and then he went to quote a Bible scripture, and I was just like, it's funny that you would quote that because obviously you don't know the meaning behind the words that you're saying, or the activity that you're doing. Because I'm not asking you to sell your soul. What I'm asking you to do is support your family. So when you need something, you remember that. So of course.
I'll be right back. I'll get a little dark. I'll open my windows up.
Okay.
Right back.
But of course, he needed something eventually, and he had to come back and be like, hey, uncle, I'm hungry. I need some money to eat. And without no pride or anything, I gave him the money, and then he called me later. And he was like, I need to apologize for you because now I understood what you were saying. He's like, because when I asked you, you didn't even throw it in my face. I said, that's the product of family, and you have to teach them things like that. A lot of youth aren't willing to learn though, and I think that's the biggest issue. Is that we have people that you have a great older generation that can teach you things, but at the end you have to be willing to learn and receive what you're about to teach. So of course I gotta get on my soapbox about that. But now we gotta get into some comedy real quick. And by comedy I mean the versus battle that happened on Thursday. And shout out to Omarion because he is now in the Hall of Fame of people that got washed on Versus real bad. This hasn't been an ass kicking since in the locks. And honestly, when I heard this Versus, I was like, yeah, Mario's gonna wash Mario. I don't know 5 songs from Mario. And truthfully, here's the difference. When you grow up in the generation of in Mario's generation, we had he was singing when there was Usher, there was R. Kelly, there were a whole bunch of other like very talented people, and he was still making hit records. And it was when B2K was out, there was nobody. There was no New Edition. There was no Jodeci. There was no competition. And it shows when you're from a different generation, when you have that hunger in you. And as CP3 always used to say, record sales don't mean nothing when it comes to performance. Because record sale wise, Omarion got it. Performance wise, he got washed. They treated him bad.
I'll be honest. I'm not a fan of. I guess I would say I'm more of a fan of Mario than I am of Omarion. The only reason I know a Mario song is he had to join braid my hair, and that's when I had hair. And I used to play that when I used to get my hair done. And
then do what? And then what happened?
It would only lead to some other things happening.
Okay, so that's why because you got some cheeks off.
Yeah, I used to get my head did after I got my hair.
And they got your other hair did.
Yeah. So I used to bang that Mario. That's the only Mario song I honestly know. Probably if I hear it, I know it's him. But I wouldn't even I didn't even waste my time to tune into that one because that really wasn't I was never really a boy band dude, so I wasn't really already a Marion fan, and then Mario. Like I said,
But the pre-show was even worse.
oh,
Wait a minute, though. Before we get to the pre-show, so Mario brought out B2K. Not a Mario, but Mario brought out B2K. A Mario called them niggas his backup dancers. And then on top of that, Amarion did some nigga stuff, eating watermelon on stage.
he did what?
Eating watermelon on stage.
So no one. Okay, that makes sense. Because I had a conversation at work with a Spanish dude. I think it was Thursday because for some reason they wanted to go get watermelon. So they got watermelon. So he just came in and was like, "Why is there a stereotype about black people and watermelon?" And I've heard it, but I never knew. So I Googled it. I was like, fuck. I was wondering like why would he ask that out the blue? Like where did that question come from? So it must have been he must have looked at that shit last night and he wanted to know. And I Googled it on Wikipedia. People should look it up. It's interesting what they the wording of the way they break it down of the stereotype of watermelon and black people. But yeah, I don't know why I went there, but I'm on a political tip today, so we got a lot to talk about this so-called great country, the good old U.S. of A.
Hold on, before we get that.
As I said before, we ain't going there yet.
So, Ray J, there was a battle with Ray J, Sammy, Pleasure P, and some other. Anyway, first of all, I didn't want to. I saw the video of Ray J trying to sing. First of all, he's trying to sing holding his son. I have no singing skill in my body, and I probably sound better than this nigga.
It's like these versus battles, they have like a G League version, and they have like the.
This definitely was the G League version.
That's what I'm saying. Some of these joints, like the one they had, like the UGK, MJG, 8-Ball. That to me, that was the best verses to me ever, because I related to all of that shit, because that's the shit I was banging back in the day. But something like this one, I wouldn't even waste my time to click the stream to degrade myself to watch that tomfoolery. Sorry, I couldn't do it.
Oh, it was sad. It was sad. I mean, Ray J is about to be a meme forever. Apparently, Brandy had told him, "Yo, bro, that ain't hitting." And it's sad because he comes from a singing family, and Sammy actually hit Ray J's song, and Ray J was like, "Well, damn, you sound really good."
Well, let's be honest. If Ray J wasn't Brandy's sister, Ray J would never have a career. Brandy's brother.
Ray J, don't get it twisted. Ray J's making a lot of money off his Raycons and electric bikes.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about it in the music side of it. He's an entrepreneur. I can't take that away from him. I'm speaking on the music side. If he'd have never been Brandy's brother, I don't think he'd ever got a record deal. That might have been a contingency of her contract. Let somebody produce a CD for him and just see what he can do. And he parlayed it into a nice empire. I'm not taking nothing from him. I'm just saying that I don't know one Ray J song.
One wish.
I don't know one Ray J song. Everybody say that like maybe if I hear it, maybe. But when he came out, I wasn't listening to the mainstream radio. I was in my UGK MJG phase. So.
Oh, you trying to be a pimp?
I wasn't trying to be, baby. The pinky come out. I was a pimp, nigga. Just put some respect on my name.
You know you got
Make me pull my pinky ring out.
But it was straight food. Do you know what Academics is?
DJ Academic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know of him. I've never.
So I'm going to talk about this last week. DJ Academic. So DJ Academics, there's an interview that he put out, and they were talking about, because he's about 26, 27, I think. But they were talking about underage girls or whatever, and he made a very controversial comment, like if a girl is 17, she getting fucked.
Well, I know about he's about to be under investigation. First of all, generation, as I said, that we came up in, he wasn't 18. I know I wasn't touching.
I wasn't touching.
And there was a few. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I've had some when I'm in my younger days. I did have some 17-year-olds that were interested in me. I never had any sexual relations with them, technically. So
Technically,
there was
never.
no penetration. Keyword penetration. So I mean, yeah, the 17, yeah, that's honestly, I guess I'm in a unique situation because my niece is 35. So no, she's almost 40. Yeah, I'm 45. But so my nieces are older, so I don't even look at anybody that age. So to me, that's like a no-no. If you're under 28, I can't even really look at you.
I mean,
28 is a stretch.
honestly, when I was 25, you weren't 21. Like, you couldn't drink. What the fuck? What you gonna do?
Yeah, true.
What you gonna do? Ask me to your prom? What the fuck? Like, nah, that's not. That's that. I mean, but that's just me. I that's just how I got down.
This younger generation, they just
It's-
all cheeks.
yeah.
It's sad.
I know you're not a reality show, but Black Ink, New York was started. It's on VH1.
Yeah, the tattoo girl, my niece.
Yeah, the tattoo joint.
Yeah.
So the head guy who's on their season has been kicked off Black Ink. He got fired for there's been footage of him abusing his dog.
Oh yeah, I saw about hitting him with a chair.
He hit him with a chair, put him in a cage, and like threw him down the steps or a hill or some shit. But and here's the thing: as horrible as that is, right? As horrible as that stuff is, you realize you can punch a person on VH1. You can beat a motherfucker's ass on VH1 and not get canceled. However, you touch an animal, they will cancel you quick as shit.
Yeah, we seen that.
Because it's because let me rephrase this. You can punch another minority on VH1 and not get canceled, not get kicked off the show or anything. In fact, VH1 over the last 10 years has made money off of Love and Hip Hop, off of Basketball Wives, off of Black Ink, shows about minority being dysfunctional or having some type of dysfunction or whatever. And granted, black people, we ain't perfect, so it is what it is. However, I remember VH1 being a soft rock station. But if you touch an animal, you cannot do that. They will cancel you immediately. And I'm not saying what he did was right, but what happens when, like, me and you sitting there, we start fighting, and we back on next week, and they only edit the show where we fighting and cursing each other out. I remember I thought Love and Hip Hop was a boxing match. That's how I got into Love and Hip Hop at first, because these niggas was beating the shit out of each other. I remember Lil Scrappy beat the shit out of Stevie J. Put the paws on. When people be like, I'm about to put the paws on him, that came from Lil Scrappy in him. Right? That was the saying. And it's just it's annoying to me that.
Well, that's my issue with so-called reality shows. First of all, it's not reality, because once the cameras come on, folks are going to start fronting and trying to have a certain whatever, to see whatever. Second of all, you just spoke on it, that shows the ignorance of some of the people in our society, in our black community. And then some of those people that's doing that stuff or supporting that stuff are the same ones trying to be in the streets talking about pro-black and black power and all this and that. But you're supporting, touting, or going on social media. Don't be a spoiler alert. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I don't want to see nothing posted about it. And I used to pose the question to these folks. So you don't miss an episode of that. When was the last time you went to your child's PTA meeting?
Probably
When was
never.
the last time you helped your child do their homework?
Probably never.
But it's more important than you to learn about some reality show that's not reality, about some people that don't give a fuck about you, that are making money from you sitting here watching and supporting it. That ain't doing nothing for the culture. They're making us look bad. And then you wonder why some of these racist folks look at us like that, because most of them don't have any interactions with black people. They only know what they see on TV, what they read on the news or the atrocities we do in our neighborhoods, and that's why they always throw that at you about black on black crime and why you worried about racism when you're killing your own kind anyway. Because that's what they see, and that's what we're showing, and that's what we're perpetuating, and that's what we're fucking supporting. This is why I stopped watching BET almost 15, 20 years ago. Because it does nothing but perpetuate negativity in the black race. Back in our day, it was proposing the positivity of the black race. Talking about kids going to college and talking about, aspiring to be something better. Now you just have folks just trying to get on, going viral, being thottish or being trifling or being so-called hardcore or whatever the fuck. But then you want to talk about pro-black, pro-this and that. Y'all motherfuckers are confused. You need to turn off the TV, turn off the social media, look yourself in the fucking mirror, in the eye, and figure out who the fuck you are. Because until you realize that, the white man gonna continue running you, and you can complain all you want, but you're playing into his game. You're feeding into it. You're killing your own race. All the things they were trying to do in the civil rights movement by holding us down, you're perpetuating it for them. You're making their job easy. But we're not going to talk about that because that goes over your head because it goes beyond your nose and your thought process.
Well, when you have honest conversations, some people don't want to hear. The most real shit is that I can tell you this, and this happened at work a couple weeks ago. I'm sitting in my office with one of my coworkers. Another coworker comes in, and the first thing I come out is, "Oh, have you seen Basketball Wives?" I just got up and left. I didn't even want to entertain that conversation because it's nothing of value. And we transitioned that. That's called a segue, y'all. Into this. If you ask, they'll be asking you seen Basketball Wives. Ask a motherfucker when the last time you voted. Ask them, not for president, when's the last time you voted? Because had you been voting, had you been paying attention, you wouldn't have been shocked when Roe versus Wade got overturned. Because you don't pay attention, because you're too busy paying attention to bullshit. You want to know about Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop. People will entertain you with drama so you don't see the facts. And people will keep you distracted. As long as you are distracted, you'll never see the truth. We can put the truth right in front of you, but you're distracted by ignorance. And then you chase ignorance. You chase those false hopes, those waterfalls, so to speak. And you won't see what's really going on.
This has been a very interesting week for women, for politics, and for this country. It's like we're going back in time, and like you say, I hope this isn't a shock, because if you've been paying attention, this movement has been going on for about the last, let's say, 5 or 6 years, starting down south with them restricting clinics and shutting down clinics in Texas, Louisiana, Oklahoma, Arkansas, all of the poor states that need these clinics because the cost of living and the living wage down there is horrible. Most of them have a lot of kids, can't support them. Unfortunately, people have sex. Shit happens. I'm not saying abortion should be a contraceptive. I know that's what a lot of folks are, on a pro-life side. I said it shouldn't be used as a part of us. Look, I get your argument, but if it's an embryo or a fetus, it's not a fucking baby. So cut that shit out. That late-term abortion, myth, bullshit, killing them when they come out the womb. I actually Googled and looked up because someone actually threw that at me the other day, talking about the governor from Virginia, actually tried to explain it and yada, yada, yada. He take the baby out and suck his brain out and all. I'm sitting there like, really? So that's what you really believe? So I Googled it right there in front of him. And that isn't actually what happens. That is what a Republican described a late-term abortion as. It was not legal in Virginia for that to be done, and it's not legal for that to be done. The only time for a late-term abortion is if it's something that's endangering the mother's life, and simple as that. And honestly, if you don't like abortions, keep this. Don't fucking get one. Simple. You shouldn't be able to control what somebody else does or what somebody else believes. If you don't believe in it, you don't think that it's right, don't do it. That's your right. To try to enforce your will on someone else because that's what you believe, that's bullshit. And I've said it before, the attack on women in this country is crazy. Women are the new niggers. They're coming after them for their rights. You know, now they try to come tell them they can't, you know, control if they give birth or not to another, you know, human being.
So
how in the fuck can you have that right to tell a woman what she can do with her body? I don't get that.
So I'm about to share something real personal. Probably in my probably late 20s. I was with a young lady. We were dating. She got pregnant. She had been pregnant before. She had a daughter. She already had a son. When she had her daughter, her pelvis broke. And we were first very excited when she got pregnant. Not even really in the first, she ain't even the first child. She couldn't even move at this point, couldn't stop working, just throwing up. And her mom pulls me to the side and said, she never told you. And I said, never told me what? She tells me she really can't have your baby because the doctor told her pelvis was broke and that she can die trying to have this child. So now I have to make a decision. So the decision is she wants to try. But she has a 2-year-old daughter. So how do you make a decision on let my baby be born but your mom may die? I made a decision, and it was a hard decision, that we can't have it because it's putting you at risk, and you already have 2 kids, and that's a very uncomfortable conversation for me. It wound up destroying our relationship because she had the abortion, because she always thought that we should have tried. And it's hard to me for many years, and I had to even forgive myself for it. At the end of the day, I thought I made what was the best decision.
I mean, to me, I've had some of my folks in a similar situation, and I'm not a woman, so I'm not going to claim to understand the thought process behind it, but as a man, I understand it. Like, I understand that you want to have a child, but it's not worth you risking your life. Say you do have a child and then you die on the emergency room table. Then, you know, I got a baby, great, but I don't have you. And it's no man wants to make that trade-off. A woman, I guess that she you know, produces life that she's willing to make that trade-off. But a man is never going to, the same reason why he shouldn't have an issue, I mean, any say of her getting an abortion, he's never going to understand that emotion or that thought process because we're not able to produce kids. So we're never going to appreciate a woman's perspective on it.
But here's the thing too, so I don't know what the exact statistic, but basically, if you know 10 women, basically one of them has probably been raped.
Nigga, it got to a point where...
Maybe even higher.
Yeah, it got to a point like the 6 women I talked to in a row, all of them had an experience of being, you know, raped.
Yeah.
It was like
so,
crazy.
What happens in the situation of you being raped or her being raped and she gets pregnant? So, of course, there's adoption, you know, and my family is big on foster care and adoption. But what happens when, like, if the mother can't forgive that child because of what happened, and that's all that she could see? Does she not have the right to say, hey, you know what? I want an abortion? Why would we take that from her? And here's the thing about abortion, about taking away abortions. It's not going to stop abortions. What it is it's just going to make it more dangerous.
Well, luckily, states like Maryland are still saying that they're not going to change they still want to allow abortion to be done in their state. It's not going to be illegal. So there are several states that are still, are caring about the overturned verdict. They're still going to provide abortions to women that want abortions. So then you're going to have some states that are going to make it illegal, and unfortunately, those folks are, like you said, in the southern states, and they can't afford to leave because, like I said, they make so little to go to any of these states they can provide abortions for them. So they're trapped. Like I said, some of the stuff I saw in the documentary I watched years ago, they make it so hard for some of these to stay open where the doctor that performs the abortion has to have rights at privileges at a hospital. And because they're so Christian down there, if the hospital knows that they're performing abortions, they won't give them the hospital privileges, so then they can't perform abortion. So then they have to go to Texas, which is the next state that does abortions, but they're so strict that if you're under 18, you have to get your parents' consent to get an abortion. So this is, like I say, this has been going on for a while. It started slowly, and that's why I guess I'm not really surprised that a lot of people are surprised that it got
I'm not, because we were talking about this being overturned when I was in high school, and I was in 93, dog.
It just trips me out how folks in this country find it so easy to have a stance on something without knowing all the facts. And that's what I fought on the politics of this country, that we're so ingrained in it, because to me, that's the most idiotic thing you can do. If you align yourself with a party because of their preconceived notions about certain ideas, and it should be this, or it should be that, and not taking all the facts into account, you're a fucking idiot. And that's what most of these folks are doing now, because that's what their party represents, and that's what they want to be a part of, and the other party is so bad, and yada, 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 it's so corrupt. Both fucking parties are corrupt. They're part of the same system. The government, which is built to keep us distracted so they can keep on fucking us over, which they're doing, because y'all are too dumb to take a step back and say, hey, why is this going? Why is Johnny Depp and Amber Heard the only thing we're talking about on the news when we have all this other stuff that's going on that needs to be talked about with the inflation, gas prices going up? They're saying there's plenty of oil and plenty of gas, and it's deployed by the oil companies just to make money, because all the car companies are saying by 2030, 2040, they're going full electric or hybrid and going to get away from petroleum fuel. So it's a way for them to, get their profits now because they know things are going to change in the near future. Hey, let's have an investigation of that. How about that? No, but nobody wants to talk about it. They want to complain, oh, this is Biden's fault. We're paying $5 for gas. Oh, you guys blame the orange guy, and this guy's the one that's doing everything wrong. It ain't either one of their fucking fault. It's the fucking government. But if y'all take the time to listen to each other to understand and not listen to respond, maybe we can fucking get somewhere. But I know y'all can't do that because your attention span is this fucking long. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. They got me in here sweating, bro. I'm getting a little...
I see you kind of heated there, sir.
Yeah, man, because it's frustrating as fuck to hear all of this so-called enlightened talk, this pro-black shit, pro this, pro that, but you don't have a fucking plan for anything.
No one ever does.
You just talking a good fucking game. That's it.
No one ever does, because it's easy to talk about something. It's harder to come up with a solution.
But you gotta have a conversation, try to come up with a solution. If you don't have one, then discuss it. It's not about yelling at each other. It's not about calling each other names. It's not about getting offended or butthurt because somebody says something that you might not agree with, but you might not like. That's called life, goddammit. All this feeling shit is cool. I get it. Feelings are important. I understand that. I know that. I appreciate that. But in everyday life, you have to take the emotion and the feeling out of it sometimes and make a critical, thought-provoking process of trying to understand what's really going on and not trying to be right, but maybe try to do right. And I think that's the fucking problem. Everybody wants to be right, but nobody wants to do right. Only thing that being right has done for me is gave me a fucking headache. Because then when I am right about something, oh, you think you know everything. No, motherfucker. I stepped back, I took a look at what was going on, and I made an educated choice, and the choice just happened to be right. Not saying I know more than you, I just chose a different process that worked out better for me than it did for you. So instead of you being mad about it, why don't you take notes and maybe when a similar situation comes up, you won't make the same fucking mistake and you can come out on top. But no, you always worried about being a hater and the next man getting better than me or moving ahead of me. It ain't about that other person. It's about you. You have to have that push and that drive. I see some of my folks making strides in the sporting community, you know, in the media game that got less experience than me and don't have half the skill. But because they're able to do something I'm not able to do, they're progressing faster than me. Is it frustrating? Yeah. Am I going to hate on them? No. Am I going to congratulate them? Oh, maybe. But I'm not going to hate on them.
You can funny ass dude.
I'm just saying.
You can congratulate them, nigga. Damn.
If we cool, I congratulate. If somebody I just know in passing,
He's like,
yeah, whatever. But I appreciate
you're an asshole.
Come on now. How long we been on the show? We know that. But it's I'm
Takes
never
one to
going to
know
hate
one.
on anybody's grind. I might hate that I didn't think about it and didn't do it myself, but I'm never going to hate on somebody else for regressing because they're doing something that I didn't do or did it better than I'm doing. Now, if you're just doing some bullshit trying to mimic what I'm doing and you're making progress, then yeah, if I see you, I might smack the shit out.
So CP3,
Yeah.
you just had to turn the violence, didn't you? Someone actually sent us a song. Let's fucking review it.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. So, you know, just to let people know, when they send us music, we don't necessarily, I don't listen to it. We just gonna play it. So, if you send me your B-side track, and I say this sounds like a B-side track, and you and your feelings about it, I'm not gonna lose sleep. Send me your A game. Send me your shit that's mixed right. Send me your good stuff, because we might have opportunities for you.
You doing hip hop? Whole lot of iPads going around. Ayy. Ain't been to the six, but I keep me a Drake. If your oppers gon' eat up your face, ain't worried about hoes, got money to chase. My niggas at we don't do it, they capping and rap. My niggas really been trapping a lot. Yo niggas really been capping a lot. We hungry for pussy rats. These niggas Jerry and Tom got down. Whoa. Let's go, before you plug my money, better plug with your bitch. Me and QC, we like nigga on stitch. I slap my bro, cause I know he won't sneak, goddamn. Let's go, if I lie to a bitch, I'ma lie to the judge. I get the pack and I serve no call for a nigga mad, cause my nigga look like Frozen. Smoking on out, that's a whole nother ozone. Gas in my lung, got my eyes on the low low. Come to the trap, you can go cop a boat. Have more bitches in Hugh Heaven. One or two long, Rockefeller. Fuck with my gang, I'm like Rockefeller. DLD1, we fly together. I used to take from the niggas who owe. Now I got those just to get the boys gone. I give him 33 shots. Larry ain't trusting no bitches. Ain't seeing no bitches. My vision be blurred. Damn, wait. Dirty stick, dirty bitch. Good gang, getting rid. 2-2-X, get them lit. Opposition never dish. Grim Reaper never miss. 50 shot, 30 shot. Hit him with this fucking Glock. Bet it make it hard stop. Stay on the block, it never stop. You on the boat, come on the shot. This shit gon' make you did it bop. I keep it gangsta, fed walk. That bitch I hit got good walk. He's some of my brother, my woody. I ride for my nigga, we P and we Jody. A for my brother, remind me of Curry. A my bro with the AR. If pop shit, we winning. We do not fuck with no bitches or sisters. They say that I'm too inconsistent. Nigga, don't add me in mix. Go find you a toilet to piss in. Before I have me another one missing. I'm telling my nigga from me. They know me city to city. Martis my nigga in Houston. My mama, I finally made it. Stated, dated, I did it, not done. Young son of a gun. Thinking red run. Cause these niggas piss me off. On God, on God, on God, let's go. Yeah, these niggas piss me off. Let's go. Free that nigga KB. Yeah, these niggas piss me out. These niggas piss me off. They're doing hip hop. Hey. Yeah, these niggas piss me off.
so serious. We're so serious, so serious. We're so
a lot of my brothers went up with the blast. Say, look around, we done ran for the cash. Locked on the corner, just selling that dope. A young people got hung on a rope. Say, check the statistics. Millions never made it, gone too soon. Count the 7 digits, the world gone ballistic. Runners ran for their lives, caught in an explosion. Check the American pride, hatred reigns supreme. What's really going on? The chickens half came home to roost. Check your tampon, man up, stand up. You better check your children. Too many found in the system, made the wrong decision. Pay the price for the next generation. The struggle will continue. Democracy's a cold teacher. Check the menu. Without so-called job, we at the bottom of the pile, shooting dope in our face, and our nation's gone fuck wild.
So serious. We're so serious. We're so serious. We're so serious. We're so
I'm so serious about what I do. So serious, I don't know about you. So serious about the flows I got, and I'ma live to be a legend like Biggie and Pac. I often talk about the struggle, cause that's what it is. You hear me talk about the motherland, cause that's where we live. How can we change the world when we can't change ourselves? So what you waiting on? We already living in hell. But if you got it in your blood and it's flowing through your veins, then it is what it is, and ain't nothing gon' change. I'ma put it in God's hand. We came from the motherland, shackled and chained, 10,000 miles we came. I ain't gon' never forget. We always born with a gift, and I'ma keep on rapping till my body gets stiff. Put my foot to the pedal, it's in the stud and the rebel. With a man on a mission, we don't need no one permission. We're serious.
We're so serious. So serious. We're so serious. We're so
hip-hop, plenty songs of the past, yo, it was made to last. From Run DMC, Houdini, Curtis Blow, they came with serious death flows, keeping our history alive through the language of rap. I'm stating the facts, it wasn't all about the money, selling out our form for the cash, man, that's not funny. This is my point, hip-hop was created to talk about the struggle, but instead we do the hustle in society to make a place a lasting home. While Mac and Martin, they stood alone, trying to bring about change with dignity and pride. As many of us know, we felt the pain as we stood our ground during the days of segregation and demonstration. We came together creating a black nation. Now nothing's left to keep us together as a people. This is how we ended up in this sequel. Man, that's serious.
So serious. We're so serious. We're so serious. We're so serious. We're so
Yo. So we back. So let's talk about these tracks. So the one I just played is Serious. So here's the problem. Your track has the name, but doesn't have your name also in it. Like, you can rename your, if you have a smartphone, you can rename your track in your smartphone. You can put your name, the name of the song, and it'll say MP3. So, like, I can't even shout you out. You know, CP3 was filling the song.
You know what the fuck you is.
Yeah, pretty much. I got your government because you emailed it to me, but my song's Serious. Yeah. That's it. So, like, real talk. If anybody's sending any DJ of podcast music, have your name on the track, the name of the song on the track, and then the MP3 form. Do not send at the bar any SoundCloud links, any links to Audio Mac, any links to any fucking thing, because I will probably talk about you live on air and not play your shit.
Reading is fundamental.
Riff. What's your thoughts, CP3?
Oh, and the second track. Well, both tracks was.
Well, let's do the second one.
All right, the second track, it definitely had a nice feel to it. It had a West Coast connection feel, a West Side connection feel from it. I got a party vibe, a smoke vibe. The first MC gave me an Exhibit and Bun B mix. It was. I liked the track. It was a nice flow to it. Lyrics was. It was above average from what I've heard. Some of the stuff, especially that's come through here. So I give it a strong 7.5 out of 10.
I'll probably give it a 6. I don't know about a 7. I give it a 6. So the first track we played, So the first track was by I guess Cassidy ×2 the Grim Reaper. We were vibing out to that joint. But here's what I noticed. I like the song. However, my biggest critique is you sound like the baby. As I always used to tell people, if it comes to a person that sounds like a person who's out there now, I'm going to buy the person that's already out. Like, I never bought a Sean record because Sean sounded like Biggie, and there's no way that Sean to me can match up to Biggie. Don't get me wrong, the joint with Burns and Leavers, that's a badass song. That's a badass Sean song, but it's not. But Sean, like Gorilla Black sounded like Biggie, so I didn't buy his shit either. Like, because if I want Biggie, I want to listen to Biggie. There was a motherfucker that came out that sounded like Tupac. Why would I buy that when I could just buy Tupac? There's a motherfucker that came out sound like Lil Wayne. Why would I do that when I could just buy Lil Wayne? Because the motherfucker that came out, he sounded just like Jay-Z. But why would I want to do that? If I want to hear Jay, I'm gonna buy Jay. I think you have great talent, you have great wordplay, and you may not even be trying to sound like the baby. But you may need to modify your style a little bit so that you don't sound like it. But I think the record's hot. I mean, I definitely think that you get some airplay, but then people are going to be looking at what's next. And I think that you don't want to get caught up in, oh, well, he just sounds like the baby speech. I think you have a lot of talent. I just want to make sure, that you're able to grow with what you got. Those are my thoughts.
I agree. I mean, it sounds like the baby has talent. In this market, to me, most of them sound like somebody in some exchange or some way. So, I mean, you definitely have talent. I like the track. It was a nice flow to it. Nice. The piano was real nice and catchy.
The beat was bang. The beat was off the hook.
And I do beats too, so I definitely appreciate the track. But like I said, he's the music guy. I'm the riding and chilling guy. So I like the track. I think, like I said, definitely get some airplay. And like you said, you might want to, from the music side of it, modify your flow. Try to find a way to stand out more and not, sound like this other guy or other guys. And just keep grinding and keep doing what you do, and make sure you attach your name to the MP3 when you sing it.
Okay, yeah. So definitely. We definitely. Like I said, definitely. Hey, you got some more music sending in. We're gonna play it, especially if it's new, but we're gonna critique it as well to give us our honest feedback. And never get it twisted. Our feedback's not a hate. This is what we hear. This is what our opinion. However, we do have opportunities coming up. We are putting together the At the Bar mixtape. It's going to be called "Fuck Being Sober."
We rarely are.
Yeah.
Only when we at work.
So we're gonna do the At the Bar mixtape. It's gonna be called "Fuck Me and Sober." So, and the lead single in which we'll vote on and choose, we'll shoot a video for. However, there are gonna be some beats by CP3 that's gonna be on there. There's gonna be some beats by some other producers that we fuck with that's gonna be on there. And the video, we'll shoot it, but our partners' products will be in the video as well. So those are the conditions. If you have a moment and be like, I don't. If you have a moment and be like, and you decide that you don't want to do it my way, keep this in mind. I will probably look you in your face and say next, because we move on real quick. Like, those are the conditions. That's what we're going to do. That's the route we're going. So during the last couple of videos, there was a flyer up. And the flyer is about the next event that we're having. Well, it's several events that's going on. There's several events. I'm trying to text and do this at this. There's several events that's going on. So we're doing the indie tour, and shout out to Nanya. She just sent the pizza.
Oh, okay.
You gotta love her, yo. Thank you. Will, we got some dope friends that really support us on some real stuff and just randomly send us stuff. She just texted me, said, "Yeah." So you just sent the pizza, didn't you? She said, "Yeah." We appreciate that. Oh man. But so the DMV edition. So on Friday, the 15th, we're going to be in West Virginia. Then on the 16th, no, I'm sorry, we'll be in West Virginia. Oh, let me look at this the right way, because I want to be out of right information. It's a 3-day event. So the 15th will be in West Virginia. The 16th, actually, yeah, we'll be in Martinis. And then I guess the 17th is that Sunday. We'll be in Richmond. So that's Saturday night. Oh, shoot, that's Saturday. You won't be there then. Because it's at 4. We'll be in Martinis. They switched it, because originally it was Richmond, then D.C., but we're going to be West Virginia, D.C. Hello? Yes. Just come knock on the door. The door's open.
I wish I could be there for that.
Actually,
I was looking forward to it. I used to be at Martinis with the Sports in the Hill podcast show, doing the pregame for the Washington Commanders, used to be football team / Redskins. And my little bro, shout out DJ 808 down there, spinning records Friday night. And
but now we about to have the meat and potatoes of the show. We'll go over by that CP3.
Yeah, guess it's about to arrive in the building. But yeah, make sure you check out DJ 808, doing big things in the DMV. Another DJ that we have affiliations with that you can get your stuff played on also.
Dr. T is in the building. I'm so excited.
But we're going to talk about social anxiety, so I can tell you why I was sitting out there like an idiot.
Okay. So, let me play. I'm about to play a video, CP3. And I'm about to play a very special video. Do you know what video I'm about to play, CP3?
Maybe Money Combo?
It's not going to be Money Combo.
Oh, sure.
It's a very, very, very special video. Matter of fact, if I was more prepared, I would have had it prepped.
recreational heat.
Yeah. So it's alcohol.
That's what it is when they have no liquor. That's the problem right there.
So this video, and I'm about to stop talking. This video is special because there's a our guest is actually in this video. Renegade, understand? Go back. Go back. Huh? You gonna sit there? Give me 1 second. I gotta adjust it.
No, I'm saying I was in a video.
Remember we did the show on this?
Give it to him. Huh? You can give it to him. I got my youngin in the building. Come on up too, young.
Yeah.
You know, everywhere I go, I like to show a nigga from that area some shine. You feel what I'm saying? Number two, because I'm the only nigga I ain't filthy rich because of politics. Not because these niggas can fuck with me. Come on, let's be honest.
Still get
Rapping, $1 million.
Still get money, we could lose.
Real nigga, priceless.
Still get money, we could Illuminati, nigga.
Can't buy that. You ready, Poppy?
Think about it. Can't buy conversations. Get rowdy all in the crowd. Yeah, man, you know us. Got the party started up like a motor. So rock and patrol. Won't you just go and pull up? Then drop that thing low, girl, till it hit the floor. I'ma do it big. Stand in that backseat. I let a hater tell him get off my dick. Just a business, so I mind it. But my mind, I lost it, and now I can't find it. So I'm the man. I'ma make them understand. I'm the man. I'ma make them understand. I'm the man. I'ma make them understand. I'm the man.
Tell us what you're gonna see from you today.
You're gonna see energy, realness, greatness, nothing more or less.
I'm the man. So what? Don't you understand? You better get it understood. That I'm so high you might catch a tan. Everybody claim they ballin', when half of them just been stolen. I murdered by the first degree, then threw it in the coffin. I'm sick with it, you just catch me coughing. They say I'm on a dinner plane, how a young boss been flossing. These rappers been dead to me, skeletons in my closet. If that don't make sense, then these hundreds side the closet. I'ma do it big, stand in that backseat. I let a hater tell him get off my dick. Just a business, so I mind it. But my mind, I lost it, and now I can't find it. So I'm the man, I'ma make them understand. I'm the man, I'ma make them understand.
Hey, it's CC, you're watching Heads Up TV, and I'm with one of my favorite artists, Renegade. On to the E, to the N, to the E, to the D, to the E, to the D, to the E. I love it.
Got a bad shorty with a black car. Oh man, she go hard. Control the game like Mozart. I spit ahead of y'all. Go car. She sweet in the middle like a pop top. Got the game on lock like a cop car. In another galaxy, patch march. Living out life like a rock star. I'm rolling outrageous, trying to stack it up like grateful. Haters gon' be haters while I'm counting all these pesos. Touching all this paper while you feeling on that Play-Doh. Murder beats like OJ, then give her all that mayo. I'ma do it big, stand in that 5 seats. I let a hater tell him get off my dick. It's just a business, so I mind it. But my mind, I lost it, and now I can't find it.
I want to stop it.
Just got it back up already. Shit.
Cause I gotta reset everything.
Benji, how you do that there?
Because that shit was wrong.
Yeah.
Double M Visions.
What's that supposed to mean? Man,
what's that supposed to mean? Hit 'em in the,